Well, my dream game might as well be Peter Gregory because Shannon Cove is dead. Let's discuss. Shannon Cove was ambitious, like overly ambitious. Every mechanical change took hours to implement, and adding new features felt like rewiring a toaster using spaghetti. And since I have a full-time job and a child, it just wasn't sustainable. And the art, way outside my comfort zone. I'm over here drawing these potato-looking villagers and hoping that nobody notices. But then it came to me. I am not Eric Barone. I can't make Stardew Valley. Not even this kind of dark comfort version I was trying to do. So I started avoiding working on it. I'd sit down, open the project, and immediately decide that I need to clean the fridge instead. It was time for a reset. A glorious scope-reducing reset. So I started fresh. No towns, no shops, no 7-page NPC dialogue system.
What?
Just one room, a little guy, and the knowledge that I wanted to use some kind of dice mechanic. The goal? To have something that I could play on the first day. If by the end of the day I couldn't pick up dice and throw it at something stupid, it was gone straight in the bin. I didn't need some grand narrative, just a vibe and an aesthetic soup I hadn't quite finished tasting yet. So I gave myself that one rule. If it looks and feels like trash on day one, into the Shadow Realm it goes. Cold and clinical, like unfriending someone when you find out they don't like dogs. So I knew I wanted to start with the look. I didn't want to fall back into the pixel art trap. That stuff eats souls. Especially when, like me, you're very limited on those abilities. So I pivoted hard, right into my favorite aesthetic, 1980s neon arcade. So I jumped into Ace Sprite, whipped up a load of sprites for the walls and the player, threw together a glow shader with shader graph, slapped on a post-processing stack, and things started to look retro real quick. Suddenly I felt like a game you'd find running on a haunted kiosk in the 1980s. I'm not a trained artist, so my motto became, if I can't make it look good, then make it glow. I started by getting the player moving around, set up a basic enemy, created a dice. I knew I wanted to keep things simple, so I made the dice controller universal so both the player and the enemies could pull from the same item. So I threw in a whole lot more code and suddenly had this really impressive rock throwing simulator. Mechanically though, you throw the dice to deal damage. If you beat the enemy's AC, they get hurt, and if not, you better go get that freaking dice. If you roll a d20, you get stronger and a lot more loot drops. Roll a d1 and I don't think you like what happens. The enemies? To keep things simple, I moved away from A-star pathfinding into context steering, which is a fancy way of saying that they just kind of guess their way around using a series of raycasts. They're like angry little Roombas with poor judgment. This way they feel a lot smarter, but also tragically dumb, which I can relate to. Afterwards, make it through a series of rooms, hoard power-ups, and eventually face the big bad. Classic stuff, but with dice. What's not to love? Then I started slapping on features, collectibles, a store, UI that kind of mostly works, and the most simple form of room generation. Each dice throw has a chance of unlocking a stat upgrade, or even passive ability. You can use them to stack upgrades, break the game, and become a dice god. Eventually. Along with a few basic upgrades, I've only added one so far that will change the way you play. When it's picked up, the dice becomes emotionally attached to the player. And unlike your ex, it's not going to leave you. Throw it and watch it fly around like a skip it from the 80s, but with slightly more violence and less playground accidents.
Skip it, bet you're gonna love it. Skip it.
And that's about it. No, the game's not done, far from it. Right now it's held together with duct tape and misplaced confidence. But it moves, it plays, and so far I think it looks pretty good. But here's the thing, game feel is king. It's not about frame perfect mechanics or high-res visuals. It's about how it feels when you throw that dice. Does it look satisfying? Does the screen just shake a little? Does it bounce in a way that makes your brain go, yes? If your game looks like stale bread, nobody's going to want a second slice. So that kind of feedback is what I'll be focusing on next. Weight, impact, crunch, and bounce. I want every throw to feel like you're hurling a bowling ball of justice. You should feel the hit, not just see it. So this is the first devlog for what I'm calling the upside. It means that Shannon Cove is going to take a slight hiatus, but eventually I'll come back to it. But if you want to see more, make sure to hit that like, hit subscribe, hit your desk in freaking excitement, I don't know. And I don't care, I'm more surprised you haven't clicked off the video yet. So get out of here, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks for the next one.